What's going on, everybody? Just moved back with another Dokkan battle video for guys. It has been a minute. I made the promise last time I uploaded that I would make sure I'd be back making videos again for you guys. And this time around, it's because of Dokkan this side. It's the Dokkan part of it. You know, content hasn't been that too often since Saiyan Day when we made that upload. I said then I was going to promise that I would do summons for Saiyan Day. I did actually, but I just didn't decide to record them. One, because they didn't go that well, but that's not the whole reason. Two, also, I just felt like there was no need for it. I'm really waiting for, of course, the anniversary. But definitely for sure, instead I'll probably get some JP summons on for you guys in the next couple of months while we're waiting for the global anniversary, the global's 8th anniversary, of course. So I haven't made a video since March 18th, no, March 17th, the days leading up to Saiyan Day, and then since then we got the Dokkan Festival Yantra as we expected. We got some other stuff. We got some Super Strike Awakenings, April Fool's Awakenings, and new characters. We got the new Awakenings for this Goten Trunks from the Broly Dragon Ball story, and then of course the World Tournament just came around, which is a great time to talk about Golden Week and what we will be seeing. So, what do you guys want to talk about? This is what we're going to be talking about. So, last week there was of course, as expected, a producer's letter about the content coming for Golden Week. They don't call it Golden Week for the international version of the game, but it is Golden Week for Japan, of course. They did say the theme of it was going to be around the World Tournament and Goku's battles in the World Tournament. Now, if you guys have not watched the original Dragon Ball, it's not like I have myself completely. I've been rewatching Dragon Ball. I can't even say rewatching. Watching Dragon Ball in its entirety for the first time this year for myself, and it's been good. There were 3 World Tournaments in there. The 21st World Tournament where Goku fought Jackie Chun. The 22nd World Tournament where Goku fought Tien in the final round, and it was a draw. That one, it also led into the Demon King Piccolo arc, which of course was one of the biggest battles in Dragon Ball. And then we have the 23rd World Tournament, which is what you're looking at here. Goku and Piccolo Jr., Jr., the reincarnation of Demon King Piccolo. This is this year's Golden Week Dual Dokkan Festival. They are not LRs, they have confirmed that. A lot of people expect them to be LRs because of the Dragon Ball superhero celebration, getting Gohan and Piccolo as LRs during New Year's. That never typically happened until, you know, last year. But they decided to make these 2 units TURs, which is good. And we have the confirmed Dual Dokkan Festival period. Thursday, April 27th, which is tomorrow, and till Tuesday, May 30th, of course. The banner should be live Friday morning, like early Friday morning, I would say. That's when the banner should be live. But yeah, so it'll be April 28th when the banners will go live over here in the if you're living on the Eastern Standard Time like myself, of course. So this is Golden Week for us, Goku and Piccolo Jr. So let's start talking about all these units. We have a plethora of units, 4 of them to talk about that we just saw from last night that came up this morning. So let's talk about it. We have the announcements in game of the new Dokkan event for Goku. This is just a Goku. Remember that. This Goku will be in the Dragon Ball Saga, of course. He won't be on the youth category, maybe. Probably not, just because, you know, I wouldn't think so anymore. You know, this is the first Dokkan Festival of Goku from Dragon Ball Saga. That's not a kid, so that'll be interesting. You guys will be able to farm his super attack with any Goku. Definitely, for sure, with the version Z Goku, of course. That is the best way to farm up his super attack for free. Then we have also the other Dokkan event. It's 2 new Dokkan events, not a new stage in the Dokkan event that's existing in game right now. We're getting one for Goku, and we are getting one for Piccolo Jr. One thing I'm curious about is we have had there's been a Piccolo Jr. in game already. One of the oldest units in the game. He was actually a strike. He was actually a strike event character. He was one of those. He was a super strike character, but he never got an awakening. He was one of the older ones, much like that SCR Kibito from long ago that never got an awakening. I'm curious if they might bring that back, but we'll see. But in addition, here is the full list of events confirmed so far. We got the 2 new Dokkan events, of course. We have a new stage of Boss Rush. Always comes around when Golden Week is arriving, and it'll be just the latest Dokkan event characters that have come out since the last time. We got the boss rush, which was during the 8th anniversary for JP. We haven't gotten one since, I want to say, either the thank you celebration or either the worldwide or the 7th anniversary on global. Then we have a Super Strike Awakening for a Dokkan Awakening and EZA for Cyborg Tao. He was also in the World Tournament, of course, as we all know. And this will be interesting. For global, we are getting stage 42 of Extreme Super Battle Road, which is Revenge. This Piccolo should be on that category because Piccolo Jr. is the reincarnation of Demon King Piccolo, getting revenge on Goku, of course. And then we have stage 66 of Super Battle Road, which is Connected Hope. Very good. Coming down the line when we get to, of course, the 8th anniversary, there are a lot of units there that are getting EZAs that are part of there, like the AGL Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku. Of course, you have the AGL Gohan and Trunks LR, very good unit in that. And then, of course, this category is one of the categories that is led by Tech LR Super Gogeta, so it could be very, very helpful if you have a lot of those units there. Now, let's talk about all the new units coming into the game. There are 4 of them. The 2 brand new Dual Dokkan Festival units, of course, and then their side units, the side banner units. So first, this should be on Goku's side, of course, no surprise. We have Krillin. We have an SCR Krillin from the Dragon Ball saga, from that World Tournament, the 23rd. Krillin fought Piccolo right before Piccolo fought Goku, and of course, Goku had to fight Tien to get to the finals to face Piccolo as well. So, Krillin, he leads the Kamehameha category and the World Tournament category. Expect to see a lot of World Tournament categories in here. A banner unit that leads 2 categories is interesting. It should be Key plus 3. And then all stats 130, which it is. And then Krillin's passive. So, this is the first time I'm going to be reading off the passives for myself. So, I'm going to be taking the time to take a look at them, of course. So, Krillin, he does attack and defense 150. He gets that outright. That's his base. Then he gets an additional attack and defense 100% when he performs a super. He has a category support for the World Tournament category. Very nice. One thing to remember about the World Tournament category, it's literally just characters that have participated in the World Tournament. Not any of the World Tournament units that you pull when you use your World Tournament tickets. Like, of course, there's a Gotenks in there, or Vegito, or a Super Saiyan Vegeta from the Android Saga, or Super Trunks, or the the Super Goku basically from the Hyperbolic Time Chamber when he's wearing the Saiyan armor. None of those units are on the World Tournament category, so just remember that if you're thinking about this. Category is very, very jumbled up because there's a very random mix of characters, a bunch of Hercules, Videls, characters like that. There's some Gohans in there, but I think with this big drop of Dragon Ball Saga units, actually I just noticed Krillin's not on the Dragon Ball Saga. I gotta take a I'll see about that. Interesting. Interesting. It looks like Krillin's not on the Dragon Ball Saga. I don't know if any of these characters will be on there. That would be surprising to me. So, yeah, again, Krillin's a good support for the World Tournament category. Then, afterwards, he gives himself Key plus 2, plus an additional attack and defense 100%, with a 50% chance of performing a crit for 4 turns after receiving an attack. Krillin gives himself damage reduction to 20%, then he gets an extra 20% damage reduction before attacking, plus an additional damage reduction of 20% when facing only one enemy. He reminds me a lot of the SCR Krillin from the Baba Shop. That has an EZA too, that is decent in some events as a free-to-play EZA unit. Not the best, but decent, especially if you're facing a lot of physical enemies. Krillin looks decent. Decent at best. So you see a unit getting damage reduction is interesting to me. On the Earthbred Fighters category, categories where you see, Krillin's Turtle School, that's very interesting, helpful. Earthlings especially. This will be a very interesting Earthlings category unit, so that would be, that's something good to see. On his super attack effect, he raises his attack by 30% for 1 turn, and he lowers the enemy's attack with a supreme damage modifier. Not bad, not bad. Didn't expect too much from the banner units, really. Given last year's banner units, which was the Android 16 and 18, and then that Super Saiyan Vegeta from the Cell Saga themed Golden Week, they weren't the greatest either. I think the year before, when we got the GT Goten and Trunks and the GT Goten and Gohan, those were better units than, you know, compared to last year. And possibly this year. I have to see about the other one. So Krillin, let's... Alright, decent at best. His stats are right there. You know, 6k defense, 7k attack, and 11k HP. Nothing too insane, but yeah. Now we're going to move on to TN. TN is the super physical type unit. Krillin is STR, if I haven't mentioned that already. Looks like TN leads Worthy Rivals or the World Tournament. Okay. Key plus 3, all stats 130. No surprise. So, TN gives himself key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 100%. He launches 3 additional attacks guaranteed, each of which have a 50% chance of performing super. So you could be in a scenario where you could launch 4 super attacks right there, unless we get more stuff, more additionals in this passive. Plus, well, actually, I'm wrong. It could be 5 super attacks, because you're accounting for the super attack he does from getting all the ki he needs in the turn. Then the 3 additionals, that will be 4 super attacks there right there in total, plus adding in if you give him additionals in your hidden potential system. Of course, that's 5 total super attacks he could do in the turn, which is very, very interesting. He gives himself additional attack plus 100% when he's performing a super attack. Good, that is always nice. And then an extra attack and defense plus 44% within the same turn with each super attack performed. And there's no max ceiling for that. There's no max stack. It doesn't max out at something. Then a high chance of evading an enemy's attack, including the super, when facing only one enemy. I'm not surprised by this when facing only one enemy stuff, because it is the World Tournament where it's only one-on-one fights. So, okay. TN leads Worthy Rivals. Well, his categories: Worthy Rivals, World Tournament, Earthlings, Bond of Friendship, and Earthbred Fighters. These are some good units for the Earthlings category and Earthbred Fighters, in my opinion, which is literally just the Z Fighters category minus Vegeta and some other people I'm not thinking about, of course. It's the Z Fighter category minus Vegeta. Tien, on his super attack, he raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, 30%, causes supreme damage, and then he has a 30% chance of stunning the enemy. Always nice to see for a super battle road super battle road candidate units, especially for the Earthlings category. That could be helpful, especially with them doing so many additionals, getting more and more chances to stun the enemy when you need it. Very, very much. Okay. These 2 units, you know, like insane. Don't really. I want to see them more when once the data download should be happening tonight. The data download should be going live tonight, and then we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. The banner should be live, I would say, in the next 30 hours, maybe 36 hours at most. 36 hours they should be live. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, let's get to the top 2 units. Of course, this is what we really need to talk about. Piccolo Jr. is a TUR. As we know, he is int. I think that's a good choice for him to be int. I see he leads a number of categories here, so let's get into it. Piccolo leads the Gifted Warriors category, Terrifying Conquerors, or Giant Form, all key plus 3, HE attack and defense 170%. No surprise, he is a 200% lead. So Piccolo is getting an extra 30% to units that are also a part of Battle of Fate or World Tournament. Some very interesting categories there. So Terrifying Conquerors in Battle of Fate, Frieza characters will be in there. No Cooler, because there's no movie units that are movie characters, good or bad, that are on Battle of Fate, except for Cell Max, apparently. So I don't think Cell Max and Beast Gohan, I believe, are the only 2, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check that. But as you can see, Giant Form World Tournament. Piccolo's really the only character you'll see that has a Giant Form in the World Tournament, other than the Kid Goku units that could turn Grade as well. And then Gifted Warriors, that's a lot of Vegeta units, that's a lot of Piccolo, that's some Piccolo units as you can tell. Some Frieza, some Goten and Trunks, some Gotenks, that's nice. And then Terrifying Conquerors, you've got the Ginyu Force, you've got Cooler, you've got Friezas, you've got Bojack's, Turles, a number of units like that in there. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'll look into the teams more, probably off recording. So Piccolo has an intro animation. I have uploaded all the animations in English. I'll probably upload the JP versions of them because they have the OST in there. I don't know why the global they don't upload the OSTs with the animations that they're putting out. So there's that. He has he has an intro, as we know. Then he starts off with a 50% chance of launching an additional super attack for 1 turn from the start of turn. Gives himself Ki +2 and attack and defense 101% for 5 turns from the start of the turn. He has base. This is always going to be part of him. Ki +3 and attack and defense 150. Then he gets an extra attack and defense 20% with each super attack he performs up to 100%. So he'll need to do 5 supers to get that fully built up. Then he's attacks effective against all types when only facing 1 enemy. That's good. That is good for difficult content. That is truly good. He has a 30% chance of launching an additional super. Then he has an additional attack and defense plus 60% within the same turn after receiving an attack, plus an additional attack and defense plus 100%, and all allies attack and defense minus 30% as the first attacker in a turn. So that is very, very interesting. He gets buffs and debuffs when he's the first attacker in the turn. And then, of course, he gets a nice 60% attack and defense buff when he gets hit. So that's all very interesting. Then he gets another additional attack and defense plus 100% when performing a super. And he has a 50% chance of launching an additional super attack as the second or third attacker in a turn. So there are some good things in having him, whether in slot 1, 2, or 3. That's always nice to see when they don't make you have to prioritize a unit being in slot 1 only or slot 3 only. They really floating him off. And then lastly, he is a giant form character, so he turns into a giant form when the condition is met, which is not a part of the active skill. We'll get to the active skill in a second. Piccolo turns into giant form when HP is 60% less or less, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. Very simple, especially if you're in a difficult event. Very simple to activate. So you have to be at least turn 4, and then afterwards be below 60% HP. On his super attack, he raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, 30%, causes immense damage, and gives himself a 50% chance at stunning the enemy. Nice. And then lastly, his active skill, which is right here, it can be activated when HP is 50% or less, starting for the 4th turn from the start of battle, or when facing 2 or more enemies. So does that mean he has to be it has to be turn 4 and he's 50% or less HP, or does he automatically get the active skill when you're facing 2 or more enemies? I think either way, whether it's turn 4 or you're facing multiple enemies, I think you have to have below 50% HP nonetheless. So on his active skill, he massively raises his attack temporarily. He causes mega colossal damage, and then to all enemies, which is good for a TUR unit that is not an LR, of course. And then he disables an action of every enemy once within a turn. That is the first unit to do that, to have an AoE action disable for all enemies. We've had the 7-year anniversary units. They have the capability of doing that. The LR Goku and Piccolo from the Saiyan Saga. Piccolo's capable of, with the active skill, with the special beam cannon, being able to disable enemy's action. Only one enemy, you have to choose. But this is the first unit to disable the action of all enemies in the turn. That's nice. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So this Piccolo looks pretty impressive. His stats are right here. Not bad. His full category list. Target Goku. Very good. That's very good of them to put him on that. He's on the Mechians, of course, no surprise. He's on Worldwide Chaos. That's interesting. It's not like he'll really link up the greatest with these units. It's really other Piccolo units. It's great that the name is Piccolo Jr. because he can link up with Orange Piccolo. He can link up with the STR Piccolo that guards from the Cooler movie. He's on Final Trump card. Very interesting there. I didn't even see that. And Trusted Will. He's on some categories you wouldn't expect, you know, regular Piccolo units to be on. So this is a good thing. This is really good that they really decided to do this, finally dropping us a Piccolo Jr. from this World Tournament. Now we have to get to, oh, also his giant form. We cannot forget that Piccolo has a giant form, as we've talked about already. We know the condition. You have to be at turn 4, and HP has to be below 60%. And then it's pretty simple what happens here. The passive, it says he gets Ki +3, and he's effective against all types, and he has a 50% chance of performing a crit. Not bad. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I would hope he hits really hard. He massively raises his attack temporarily, and then causes destructive damage with his super attack. So I think he'll be hitting hard. I don't know if he'll be hitting as hard as Orange Piccolo when he's in his giant form, but we'll see. Well, we will see. Not to say that Orange Piccolo really hits hard on his, active skill when he becomes a giant, but that could hopefully this is different. And it's not like it's not like this is the active skill only, so that's good. It's good that he has a giant form and then also an active skill. So this unit is has a lot of good ways to use him, for sure. Now we get to Goku. We are getting to Goku. As you can see, Goku is also 2 pages. So let's get to him. I think I took a look at Goku before earlier today, and I think he is most definitely the better of the two. And I'm probably gonna get into why right now. So Goku is tech. We're gonna start off with that. He leads only 2 categories primarily. It is Earthbred Fighters or Powerful Comeback. Most powerful comeback units have a certain thing with them, so we will see. And if you notice at the top, it says before entering standby mode. So this Goku in his kit has something brand new to global. This is the first time we are seeing it. It would have been if we had already gotten the 8th anniversary units, but we did not. So the standby skill is a brand new ability that was introduced during the 8th anniversary of Dokkan back in January, of course, with the LRs, both the LRs that are in there, Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and LR GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta have the standby skill ability. They both do something different. So for I'm referencing one of my videos that I dropped earlier this year. This is what the standby skill looks like. It is that right there. It is a blue, blue aura, kind of similar, very similar to, of course, active skills, where as far as you pulling up, you are actually pulling down on the character. You saw the pull down screen right there, and then of course it goes off. With this unit right here, this Goku and Vegeta, they enter standby mode, where what happens is you are unable to attack at all. You cannot perform any attacks. You're gonna see it happen here. Goku is charging the Spirit Bomb while Vegeta will be going to defend him, and the actual card art changes, and the actual characters, the actual passive and abilities of this character will change in what happens when they enter standby mode. So you can see it's now a Goku and Vegeta both in base form, and there is this charge counter right here. So with this unit, they have a charge counter where you need to collect key spears in order to get them to unlock with something called the finish skill, which is essentially a super powerful super attack. Basically, this unit has 2 finish skills. Some units have only 1, and the reason for that is because of a couple of things. This unit has 2 finish skills. You want to get the finish skill that is maxed out completely, maxing out the complete charge counter, because it is this really powerful super Spirit Bomb attack, as you can see right here, and it is one of the hardest hitting moves in the game, especially in very difficult content like Red Zone. As opposed to this Goku and Vegeta here from the Buu Saga, we have a Goku and Vegeta from the GT, of course, the final fight with Omega Shenron. And in here, what happens here is we have a revival. It is a revival that happens. So they activate the standby skill right here. This is when Goku was dying, basically, against Omega Shenron. And what happens is they switch from Goku and Vegeta to a Vegeta with Goten, Trunks, and Gohan all Super Saiyan. Of course, again, like I said before, the actual character's card art changes to this, and they have different super attacks. So this unit can attack because they don't have a charge counter. What happens is when they get defeated, this unit gets hit, they KO, and they have a revival counter where you get a revival and you actually launch an attack back. And this is probably the most powerful skill in the game right here because of this unit. And this is what makes this LRGT Goku and Vegeta arguably the best unit in the game. So let's talk about Goku's standby skill. First, like I said, Earthbed Fighters or Powerful Comeback, Ki +3, all stats 170. Gives an extra 30% to units that are on Battle of Fate or World Tournament, just like Piccolo. A lot of Goku units are on Earthbred Fighters. Obviously, the final fight here of Dragon Ball. The Goku and Vegeta fight from Dragon Ball Z in the Saiyan Saga, I believe, is Battle of Fate as well. Goku and Frieza, of course, is Battle of Fate from the Frieza Saga. There is no Gohan is on Earthbred Fighters and is part of Battle of Fate with his fight with Cell. The Goku and Vegeta will not be a part of Earthbred Fighters, so of course that won't apply, so we can ignore that. And then the Goku and Vegeta we just saw just now, the GT one, is on Powerful Comeback and Battle of Fate. So there are some very interesting units that can fit on Goku's scene. I might make a second video, talking about, the teams for both of these units and how it may look and shape up. No surprise, Goku's is going to look much better because Saiyans have so much synergy in Dokkan in all these Dragon Ball games. So Dokkan and Legends, if you want to go there. So Goku, starting off with Goku, has a passive skill, of course. Also has an intro animation. I uploaded it earlier today, of course. He guards all attacks for 1 turn from the start of turn, so he guarantees guard. There's a guaranteed guard for the first turn of the fight. He's in. Ki +2 and attack and defense 101% for 5 turns from the start of turn, just like Piccolo. Goku has a base Ki +3 and attack and defense 150. Then Goku gets an additional attack and defense plus 10% with each attack received up to 100%. So he has to take 10 hits while Piccolo only has to take 5. So that's a very interesting choice there that they decided to do. They have some very similar things going on for both of them. They both have the ability to have attacks effective against all types when facing only one enemy. Goku, on the other hand, has a Ki nullification skill. He's able to have a 50% chance to nullify Ki Blast super attacks directed at the character, which is very interesting too because for JP they just announced a change with some of the difficult content in the game where units that are able to counter a super attack, they are able to do that now because they only cancel the dodge. The pure units that only evade super attacks and don't counter anything. So like units like LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta can now benefit from the Red Zone Broly fight because he can be ran in there and he has a chance to counter that super attack and not get hit by it. Very, very interesting that they decided to do that. Then Goku has a outright 50% chance to guard all attacks, which is good. He launches an additional attack, I should say, that has a 70% chance of being a super for 4 turns when guard is activated. Plus an additional defense plus 20% whenever guard is activated, up to 100%. So once he is guarding 5 times, if you really see his defense shoot up, then you know guard has been activated. So it stacks up to 5 times and you get a max of 100%. Then he gets an additional attack and defense 150, and then lastly, he launches an additional super attack and guards all attacks starting from the turn in which the character or an ally's revival skill is activated. So, the revival skill is activated. How so? We're going to get into that. He enters standby mode. Every unit enters standby mode, just like that Goku and Vegeta from the GT, of course. HP has to be 59% or less starting from the 6th turn of battle, and he enters standby for 4 turns. He enters standby for 4 turns. The GT Goku and Vegeta enter standby permanently until the revival happens, and then the Z Super Spirit Bomb Goku and Vegeta from the Blue Saga, they enter standby mode for 5 turns where they guard, and in those 5 turns you have to get the charge counter maxed out. So Goku's full category list is right here. Some of the notable categories he's on: full power is one. That's a very notable one. He is on low class warrior because all Gokus in Dragon Ball are on low class warrior up until his fight with Vegeta. Then we have powerful comeback, like we said before, Battle of Fate, as we mentioned before. He is on bond of parent and child, which is interesting because of Grandpa Gohan, or this Goku is essentially the reason this Goku is not on Dragon Ball Saga. I guess they're already, once Goku's no longer a kid, that is no longer the Dragon Ball Saga. Basically, I mean, it's weird because it's stuck in between the time frame of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, because Goku's grown up. It's, 5 years before him and Chi-Chi have Gohan, a short time before they get married. It's kind of weird, but it's weird, but it would have been very amazing if they were on the Dragon Ball Saga. I think that's a missed out opportunity to me. On his super attack, he raises his attack by 50% for 1 turn, does immense damage, and lowers the enemy's attack. And then the last part of Goku is right here, which is where he enters standby mode. When he gets shot in the arm, in the shoulder, basically, by Piccolo. They can't really show that, but that's supposed to be a hole there. A lot of censorship has gone down in the past. So as you can see, Goku has no super attack right there. None, 0. Standby mode is where, for some units, you cannot attack. Others you can, but you're sort of worse, essentially. One example I could give you is with both LRs that are coming in the 8th anniversary. They both have the ability to stack their defense. They're not able to do that once they enter standby mode. That doesn't make them worse, essentially, but the SCR GT Goku and Vegeta, when they stand by and become Vegeta only, he does, it is much easier to get hit. It's much easier for them to get hit hard by a difficult enemy, for sure. So Goku, obviously leader skill will not change. The passive skill, as you can see, he's unable to attack except when the finish effect is activated, which is the finish skill. The finish skill I talked about just now. The finish skill is an attack that's pretty much so much more powerful than even some LRs in the game. Some super attacks of actual LRs. He is a support when he enters standby for all allies key +3 and attack and defense +59%. All allies, it's not a category thing. Then we have a category support effect where he gives Earthbred Fighters category allies defense +50%. Kind of similar to the Vegeta here. This Vegeta does give all allies 80% attack and defense, I believe. I think it's one of the two, if not both. He gives them a massive support buff, which is insane. I've never seen that before, for a unit to give them 80% of attack and defense to all allies. Then Goku's also a category support on defense again for World Tournament category allies defense +50%. He is not included in these support buffs. As it says, self-excluded. He's able to foresee enemy super attack. He has the scouter effect. Wow, that makes him that much better. Having a scouter effect, that's amazing. That is really, really good. I did not notice that. That's really good. He revives with 59% HP recovered when the character or ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd. Of course, you have to be in the same turn, of course. And then once only. And then lastly, he gives himself an additional attack plus 590% when the finish effect is activated. That's how hard these units hit with this finish effect from the standby skill. So it's going to be a very powerful attack from Goku once you get KO'd and you have to get revived. It's going to be insane. I mean, to give you guys an example, as we go back, I'll show you guys the passive of the anniversary units that we just got, of course, not too long ago. There's Goku and Vegeta right here. Like I said before, their standby skill lasts 5 turns. They activate it when HP is 50% or less, or after they receive 4 more attacks during the battle, starting from the 4th turn. Not too difficult of an effect standby condition to get. And then right here, as you can see, they have a revival. So this is the first revival unit we're seeing since this unit during the anniversary that has a revival counter, of course, as you've seen. So this unit gets an additional attack plus 39% when they perform a finish attack. That's not too insane. I'm surprised to see that. It's not too crazy compared to the other anniversary unit, but they do have an attack plus 250%. That is why. That is a reason, but not too bad, of course. And as you can see, the unit counters with extreme power against the opponent who KOs the character or an ally attacking in the same turn. And it's a finish skill, which I don't remember. Yeah, it's extreme power is supposed to be higher than Mega Colossal, basically. And if we go to the other 8th anniversary unit, which is of course the Goku and Vegeta from the Buu Saga, this unit, very interesting what it says here for the finish skill. This unit is actually able to acquire a temporary attack plus 20% per charge counter accumulated and does super ultimate damage to the enemy. So I think, yeah, this is much hard. This hits much harder than the GT unit for sure. This one is definitely for sure much harder. And then they have like I said, they have one finish skill here. It's alright. It's not as impressive as the other. It's ultimate damage, much like a lot of the super, much like a lot of the active skills in the game. And then we have super ultimate damage, which is essentially the hardest hitting one in the game. And then with this Goku and Vegeta, they give a massive attack buff when they do perform their finish attack, which is attack of 5 plus 500% when they perform a finish attack. Not both. I mean, not the. It doesn't matter which finish skill it is, which finish attack it is. So you definitely want to get this one for sure. It hits hard. I would know because I have this unit on JP. But this Goku is very good. The fact that he's able to guard, and then once again, remember, once the revival happens and he does his finish attack, his finish effect, his finish skill. Once he does the finish skill, he will revert to this unit that he was before entering standby mode. So this is what he will return to after performing the standby mode. But he will come back with permanent guard. He'll come back with a additional attack and defense bonus 150, and then be able to launch additional super attacks guaranteed, starting from the turn in which the character or an ally's revival skill is activated. So remember that. Otherwise, that is everything we need to know about these units. And yeah, they are coming very, very soon. Like we said, the data download should be happening tonight. And then in that, having said that, the banner should be live late tomorrow night into the 28th of April. So that is it. That is all we need to know, as I just played that by accident. That is it. That's all we need to know about this incoming Goku and Piccolo. Is going to be a very, very impressive drop. I'm very interested to see how they do, how they work, how they really work in game, and I think they're going to be incredible. If you haven't watched this fight, if you haven't even watched original Dragon Ball, I would recommend you do. A lot of people have been making a lot of claims. There's been a lot of controversy online about, why should you watch original Dragon Ball when it doesn't compare to some of the modern Dragon Ball stuff we have now, given that we are 5 years removed from Dragon Ball Super, and then a lot of the movies that have happened, a lot of the crazy stuff that has gone on, all the transformations. So I think original Dragon Ball is worth the watch, and I think you guys should do it. Otherwise, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a lengthy video. I'm back. I'm gonna get streams going again for sure in the next couple of days, especially with these units coming out for sure, especially if I pull them on JP. I probably won't do a summon video for global. If I manage to pull them on JP, probably a clip will go up of that. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.